Today's December 13th, 2022. This is a trade that I made on Pasco. Now, I heard from a pro day trader, many of them, stating that lessons are learned when losing, analyzing the losses. And when I'm making money, I suppose I can learn from there as well, because I can make more and become more consistent while doing that. So when I look at this trade, I'm looking at this trend here as it was sloping down. And I thought, okay, this level possibly could be a reversion trade at this stage, but it dipped a little bit and then recovered. What I should have done was become a bit leery of my thesis at this point, which is roughly about 30 minutes into the trade. If within the 30 minutes the trade does not unfold in the thesis that I have, then it needs to be discarded. As it went, it dipped a little bit and it went up to this point. And if I sold at this point, it would have been even better. The VWAP is here, and it was about to reach that point, and that's when essentially the selling spree occurred. Then, at this point, when it dipped below where my buy point is, and it dipped, this is essentially, it should have been my point to actually exit the trade, but I actually added, which was reverse of what I'm supposed to do. And typically speaking, that is generally the method that I typically lose the most amount of money, and I've documented this over and over again. So in order to fix this is to essentially get into the same situation over and over again and then exit upon a certain criteria, which is if it goes past maybe half an hour within the trade, and if it's not moving in the direction that of my thesis, then I need to think about exiting. The second part is when it crosses over to a certain point, and I should have established a stop loss at which point I should have sold, which essentially speaks volumes about the retracement that occurred from this point to this point, and this point at the point where I added is essentially the point where I should have exited trade, or the stop loss should have taken effect automatically. Or instead, I waited and waited, and I got out at this point here. And that generally tends to lead to the most heaviest loss per day. So in the words of a professional day trader, it is essential that I practice this essentially practice, because when I sleep and I wake up, and even if there's a couple days in between the weekends, then I should be able to memorize that, and it should be so routine, just like riding a bicycle. That's what I need to make sure that I achieve in this case. This right there is definitely showing looks like it's showing a flag, and that's generally telling me that it's going to be bullish at this point. So it looks like it is tending to move into the direction of being bullish. And at the point where I sold here at the most, and when I bought it, this may recover by the end of the day. So what I need to do is be mindful about the amount of time that I'm holding, and be mindful about the point where it retraces. And when it retraces, then I need to think about exiting and actually do exit.